Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. We've got England versus Norway today, and it's been a while since we've done these watch-alongs. I know we're supposed to have been doing them much more often during this World Cup, but there are a couple reasons for that. Got a tiny bit of burnout. Also, I injured myself, and also got some family coming over. But we're here, we're ready, we're in the final eight. Norway versus England, guys. Woof. I am I think that this match, I think very much think that this match is going to give us a surprising result. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who's gonna win, but I think that something crazy is gonna happen over here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead, guys. I put in the description. I put a poll up saying you guys tell me who you think is gonna go through to the next round. I think most people are gonna say England. But if I'm honest with you, I think it's very close. I think it is very close. We'll talk about the lineups and all that in a little bit right now. But England they haven't really looked at their best throughout this tournament, have they? After that first opening game against Croatia, I thought that they looked the best out of everyone. But there was some moments inside that game that showed us some cracks in between, and that they're definitely not the team that I think a lot of Englishmen would like them to be. The cracks in the defense are very evident. The team is just, I don't know. There are a lot of question marks. The team that Thomas Tuchel called up, no Cole Palmer, no Phil Foden, all those guys, whatever you want to say it. But then in the actual tournament, the fullback situation, I mean, they're playing they're playing Konza, it's not Gerald Konza, they're playing Ezri Konza, similar sounding names. They're playing Ezri Konza at right back today, which I think a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, hey, there is a Trent Alexander-Arnold sized hole over there. But we'll get into all of that a bit later on. Yeah, what a time! What a time! I'm a bit rusty now. All of a sudden, I thought I was getting into such a good groove of things before I took that little break. But we're here, and also yes, R.I.P. to Jaden Adams. I heard about that earlier on today. If you don't know, South African midfielder, he passed on. I think it was yesterday, or the news came out today. I don't know what the cause was or what the situation was there, but that is ridiculous. I mean, we all just watched him play. He started the game against Mexico. Obviously was a big part of the South Africa team, but apart from that, great player before that, great man. It's a real shame. Very, very real shame. Yeah, very somber note to start off with, but glad we can talk about it, and we'll talk about all of this more as we go on. But let's go on to the lineups quickly. So, well, before we go on to the lineups, you can see the match odds right now. I'll keep the screen on. You can see the match odds at the moment. They're quite close. And also the draw situation over here, it's talking about the fact that the chance of them going into extra time. So it's not as if they're going to, you can't draw a knockout match, but it's quite close. I mean, 3.8 to 1 versus 1.91. Anything can happen. Anyway, England. Harry Kane up top, Anthony Gordon on the left, Bellingham behind, Madueke on the right. That's how they've kind of been looking off the gate for most of the tournament so far. But, I mean, I don't know how anyone can look at this and think that Madueke deserves to be there ahead of Saka. We all know what Thomas Tuchel's plan has been throughout this tournament, playing as wide as they can. We found Madueke in really good positions throughout the tournament, and I think they found Madueke in good positions throughout the tournament, so I think that's a big reason why, but it's just not working. He's not decisive. He can't... Every time that Saka has come on and substitutions have been made, the game changes for the better for England every single time. So you have to imagine that Saka is not fit. I mean, we all know that he's not 100% fit going into this game. And the same goes for a lot of these English players. Declan Rice, I think he missed a training session during the week because he was either sick or picked up a knock. I can't remember the exact reason. Mark Gahey as well missed a training session for similar reasons. And then at the back, I'm not super convinced by this back line, guys. I really am not. But anyway, before we move on to Norway, Frosty, Norway, Vote Norway, you're saying. Let's go Vikings, says Banjo. Darth Vader, hopefully it's the end of the road for England. I mean, listen, is it going home or is it rowing home? Just a bit of fun light banter for you guys. You know what I mean? Banjo, how's your hand? It's all right, actually. Like, I don't have a bandage on today, but there's like some pretty nasty looking blisters on it. I'm not gonna put it up to the camera because maybe YouTube is gonna say there's some gore situations going on, but but it's good. We're good. We're fine. Abdi says, who is the underdog for this match? I mean, it's Norway, but in my eyes, in my opinion, I've actually watched more of Norway. I mean, I've watched both teams, all their games throughout the tournament, but I think I've probably paid closer attention, I would say, to Norway over this competition. And looking at their victory against Brazil before, I don't know if you can classify them as overt underdogs over here. England have the slight edge, but let's be real here. This is going to be a dogfight. England have started 3 City defenders, after the season that they had. John Stones in that lineup, by the way, after the horror show that he had against Croatia. Anything could happen there. Joe says the Addams family requested privacy and no one knows the cause of death, as it should be. It's none of our business. All of us should be sending our, praise and goodwill, but nothing more. I mean, unless they want us to, unless they want active help, but respect the privacy. Moon says, I'll be surprised if Saka plays 40 plus minutes. He's going to play 30 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes as he has done throughout the tournament. What do you think about Spence? Says, we're going to do some packs. I have got some packs, so we're going to do some. What do you think about Spence? Spence has been all right, man. He's been all right in this tournament, but he wasn't great against Mexico. I think, was it the first goal? That was because one of the goals was he made quite a big mistake. I can't remember exactly which one, but he's been all right. I mean, listen, he's been as good as a right-footed left back who probably shouldn't be a first choice. Should be. I'm not sure how much, no hate should go towards him. I don't think he should have been chosen. I think there were at least 3 other people that were better at the job, that were more suited to being to starting as the left back for England. Obviously, O'Reilly, Luke Shaw, Lewis Hall. There's probably more, but I mean, I think he's been okay, man. He's been fine. He's had some good moments too. Banjo, good to have you back. Good to have you back, Banjo. It really is. It really is. Hassan, based on the crazy attack and below. Oh, I haven't even switched to Norway. Sorry. I haven't even switched to the Norwegian team, so we don't even know what we're dealing with. We'll talk about them just now. Sorry, based on the crazy attack and below expected defense, I'd say this game going to have a lot of goals. I think this game is going to have a lot of goals, for sure. I'm very excited for it. Could you make Como 1907 related videos at some point? Yeah, why not? I think, definitely I am going to be working on expanding a tiny bit more next season and making more content, especially for different leagues. But we'll see how it goes. And I think I've been quite honest with you guys. Like I haven't really taken YouTube and content creation like seriously per se, apart from the end of last season. So you all would have noticed the ramp up and more videos and more documentaries and more commentary. Hopefully we can keep that going later on. But we'll talk about that later on as we go into the stream. But let's do a pack opening right now. If you don't know what these are about, pretty much just trying to pack players from the teams that are playing right now. So either Norwegian or English players. And I am a former foot addict, ultimate team addict. And packs were a crazy thing. So we'll do 2 packs just before we start this game. And the way it works is that if we pack more English players than Norwegian players, you can bet your house on the team that we're going to pack. And No crying in the casino, so you can't come back to me. All right, first pick. First player. Ivory Coast. Diomande. Next up. Sweden. Uzbekistan. Senegal. Ndai. Everton player. Good player. That's just, I guess, the World Cup, right? Canada, Mexico. Last one. Tunisia. And then New Zealand. We'll do one more. We'll do one more because why not? Because why not? And because we're feeding the addiction, and because you guys obviously want to watch me delve deeper and deeper. Sorry, Bradley saying former foot addict has many connotations. I mean, only if we're you, my friend. If that's how you read that, I think there's something going on, Chief. All right, next one. Sweden. Croatia. Cabo Verde, by the way, absolute heroes. I think Virginia is the most followed goalkeeper on Instagram right now. I was actually looking, so I made a video for the Argentina versus Cabo Verde game, a reaction video for after that one, and I scrapped it because it just wasn't good enough. But when I was doing it, I took a look at the Argentine national team's Instagram followers and Virginia, and he has more followers on Instagram now than anybody not named Lionel Messi on that Argentina team, which is that's your interesting fact of the day. There you go. Qatar. Mexico. Guys, we are not going to get any English or Norwegian players. Lukaku. Unfortunately, Belgium are out. I'm really upset by Belgium's performance yesterday against Spain. McGinn. Okay, we'll do another one at the first hydration break. But for now, because of the packs, we know that it's anybody's game. We actually have quite a lot to talk about in this stream, you know. Let me pull this up. So we've got Argentina and the suspected favoritism that they've been getting based on all their matches throughout this tournament. I mean, listen, if you watched my most recent video, you know that I don't really buy into that whole belief that Argentina has been getting outright favoritism. But it is what it is. It's interesting nonetheless. We got the US and the blatant, I don't know if you can call it favoritism. Corruption is a good way of putting it. Brazil just not being Brazil of before, and France being too good. And then also on a final note, if any of you guys play Steam or play games on Steam, what'd you get for the Steam summer sale? Interesting stuff. All right, we're about to kick off. I'm excited. I'm very, very, very excited. Let us get this kickoff correct. Oh, no, wait. Are we about to kick off? I think they're still doing national anthems. No, they are. It's a moment of silence. (2001 to 2026). Oh man, that's so young. Guys, I don't know wherever everyone that's watching this. We got 161 people in here right now. This is a lot of people, by the way, and just cherish your life. Go outside, Hug the people you care about. Take care of yourselves. God, 25 years old. Insane. Yeah, okay. England, Norway. We're about to kick off right now. Let me get the timing correct here. I'm very, very, very excited for this game. And we're off. Okay. So I haven't even said what my prediction is yet, but I think Norway take this game. I'm gonna say Norway 3-1, just because. I'm gonna say Norway 3-1 just because. Most of you guys in the comments have said, oh wow, you know what, actually? Most people are assuming that we're gonna get a Norwegian win here. 56%. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So it seems everyone kind of wants it to go this way. And make no mistake that no matter what no matter if Norway win, I know that the framing is going to be underdog. And like when I make my video, like reaction video for it, it's probably going to be the framing for that, just for clicks and all that. But like this, I think they deserve it. They definitely do deserve it if it comes to fruition. They're on the ball right now. Yeah, I'm just watch out for England's defense. Watch out for that back line, and I wouldn't be surprised. I do see that Shellstrup is playing on the left instead of Nusa. I'm wondering if this is due to a. I'm not sure what the reason for this is, but I imagine that if he were to be playing, we'd see most of Norway's attacks going down that left-hand side, and for good reason. Yeah, I mean the side with Konza and Jones. Stones, not Jones. Yeah, we'll see. Joe says, I genuinely can't tell who is favored here. I feel like England on depth. Yeah, very true. And okay, we'll talk about the tournaments so far. I think that Norway have looked a lot more impressive than England over the tournament. England, like I said, they had that massive first game against Croatia where they looked like absolute world beaters. But apart from that, and even in that game, the defense they were showing was shocking. Norway, on the other hand, have looked. Well, you know what? Norway, on the other hand, have looked, I wouldn't say better per se, but I fancy them a little bit more. I will say that maybe we all kind of fall for the hype that is always around this English team and is always around the English players. And Norway didn't have as much of that. They did have the dark horse label attached to them. But what we've seen from them, apart from the France game, which they tanked on purpose by resting, I think it was 9 players, 9 of their regular starting lineup players, so that because they already knew they had gone through to the next round, they've been immaculate. Like I think to the Brazil game they were great, but the game that probably was the best showcasing for them was the Senegal one. For me, the most impressive one because of how hard they had to fight for that one, how combative Senegal ended up being, obviously towards the end of the game, but it was a hard-fought win versus all of the other ones have just been like, there's been shock value attached to them, sure, but Norway were the better team. Like, that's pretty much it. England, though, let's give them credit. Against Mexico, that was also a hard-fought team. Like, if you're English watching that game, I know that there was definitely like a lot of squeaky bum time going on there, especially for the Kwanzaa red card. Seems that Mr. Charles didn't go ahead and call FIFA to get that rescinded, which he could have done, There's precedent. There's precedent. Bao says, that's right, Norway. Damn, okay, we'll do another poll just now. Maybe a little bit more specific on who's going to score and all that. Ling says, Haaland stands with Mexico. That's funny. Andrea says it's interesting that in this format, the best ranking teams, Spain, Argentina, France, and England, can only meet in the semis if all win their group and we're close in that scenario. It's probably by design, I would say. I think most people would say too. Bradley, I think you should go ahead and try and maybe hop on a legal stream. They tend to not cut. Fred the Shed, evening. Good evening to you, my friend. Good evening to me. Who are you supporting today? If Haaland takes Norway to even the final, do you think he gets Modric treatment and wins the Ballon d'Or? I don't think so. Well, it depends. It depends on who he's in the final with. If Haaland's in a final with someone from France, yeah, I don't know. Because this is actually an interesting question now that I'm thinking, well, Norway on the attack, Haaland through? No. Cut out by John Stones. Not a great pass. It is an interesting question, asking about what Haaland's prospects might be if he takes Norway through to the final. Because I kind of haven't been looking on social media up until maybe about yesterday. So I didn't see the lead up and everything to what the response to this Norwegian team was. Haaland is a legitimate superstar in the US right now. Like, he is absolute marketing gold at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see, and he's obviously always had massive PR, and he's a very likable guy, it seems, especially does his own YouTube channel, all that stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Norway make a really big push, even though, I mean, Man City won, the FA Cup and the EFL Cup, came second in the Premier League, knocked out, I think, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But because it's a World Cup year, that trumps everything. We'll see. We will see. It's the same thing for France. If France win the World Cup, the assumption that everyone is working under right now that Kylian Mbappe, England combating around the side, Nico O'Reilly. Yeah, I think Madueke has to really show why he's in this lineup right now, but he's offsides. Yeah, so about Mbappe and Dembele, like, if France really go all the way through to the final, then the assumption is that Mbappe walks away with the Ballon d'Or, but realistically, Dembele wins it. If France win the World Cup. Like, let's all be completely real here. Ken King says 200 votes on the poll with a similar number of views. Basically, everyone is taking part. Yeah, it's good. We like to see it. We love to see it. And as you guys know, this is not a professional stream. This is just a bunch of Haaland. Oh, interesting. Ooh, Jude Bellingham, fancy feet. He still has the ball too. That's a great game. That's great by Bellingham. He's up for it. He's had a fantastic tournament so far, Jude Bellingham. Does a bit of a drag back, catches the foul. Great stuff. Yeah, as I was saying, this is not a professional stream at all. We're just here. We're just a bunch of people talking smack. Hosted by the biggest smack talker that we have. Also, like the video, like the stream if you haven't. Does us a lot of good. Subscribe if you haven't. Does us a lot of good for sure. Let's see where we can go. Lost Soldier says, will the Vikings conquer England again? I mean, Erling Haaland's already conquered England. He just needs to. Martin Odegaard's just won the Premier League too. So I mean, 2 Norwegians doing quite well. They're just setting some seeds in there. So let's see. 40 says, it's been 3 days now, going to be it on an empty stomach, and all I can say is that I understand Jaden Adams. Sometimes it's not worth it. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. It's not. Well, we don't know what the official reasoning is, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about you, man. I hope things turn around, and I hope that we can at least for the next hour and a half or so for this game, we can all help bring some positivity and some brotherhood, sisterhood, friendship, laughs, some good goals. Maybe Haaland can score some. Kane can score some. But yeah, I'm sorry, really sorry about that. And better times ahead. Miami Stadium. Rob says Miami Stadium reminds me of San Siro. I haven't been paying too much attention to the wide shots, so I'll let you know what I think about that, Rob. Adam, glad to be here for a watch along. Love your videos. Been watching for years. Thanks so much, Adam. Thanks for pulling through. Evening, lads. Peter, what's up? Evening. Evening to you. Evening to you. Not much. Let me turn on the auto rotate over here for our match stats. Has everything. Okay. As we can see, not much has been going on so far. England with 74% possession so far, Norway with 26. Yeah, both teams have kind of been feeling each other out. Nothing major has happened. No shots 10 minutes into the game. And when it's what we usually see from games like this, when we have such high stakes, we're not going to see teams taking too many risks this early on. So just what we really need, I think, is a goal before the first hydration break. That would be great. Just a reason to open up a tiny bit. But for now, great tackle. Great tackle on the edge of the box there. But for now, I think we're probably going to be looking at a bit of a cagey affair. Maybe cagey is not the right word for it, but not too much in terms of real risk. JXB says, can I ask what your nationality is? I have a guess based on your accent. I grew up in South Africa. Rob's, I'm going for Norway because I can't stand English media. I think English, you know what? I think I would, like a lot of people that probably follow the Premier League and have for a very long time and follow English media too. Something I've realized is that every country that is a major footballing force has horrible, horrible media. Like they are, a lot of them are just the worst. Like they really are. So fair enough. I think Norwegians have this. I can't speak for it because I don't know too much about the Norwegian media, but maybe there's a reason for that. I would expect that they're not as sort of cocky. Like for the English, they have a reason to be, right? Inventors of modern football, winners. They are a winner. One of the 8 teams that have won the World Cup before. Everyone watches. The biggest league in the world is English. I don't know if the Norwegians have the exact same reasoning, have any reasons like that to be more cocky. So that's fair. But everyone, if you don't like English media, go ahead and try and watch, like go and follow the Portuguese media or the Spanish media in Spanish or in Portuguese. Like you can just use Google Translate like me, and you might have a bit of an appreciation or an understanding. Yeah, both teams not pushing the envelope too much. Norway are very compact right now. LB says, hey man, love you. I love you too, actually, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you knew that, but now you do. Hassan says, who do you think will score first? Just a rogue shout, maybe. Let's do a poll. I guarantee you, as I'm typing this poll up, someone's going to score. I think Norway's going to score first. And then after this, we'll go on and talk about favoritism with Argentina and not just Argentina, but I think it's actually the big boys, the ones that make FIFA the money. That has been the major thing that people have been talking about. Lost Soldier. Sorry, I will read your message just now. It looks like England are on the attack. Sorry, Lost Soldier. I've always loved this channel. You have a good personality and good analysis. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. I talk out my ass most of the time, but it seems to be working. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Anthony Gordon. Ooh, gets past Ryerson, but goes out for a corner. I really rate Anthony Gordon. I really do. But he's just not being very effective in this tournament. And he's not a 90 million euro player. He's just. I will be watching Barcelona very carefully next year. I think everyone has to tune in very carefully to La Liga next year. Not just because of the return of Jose Mourinho, but Barcelona have been very active in the market. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. It's going to be a very great year. And I really want to see Anthony Gordon prove me wrong, but I don't think he will. Declan Rice on the corner. Not a great corner. Doesn't get past the first man. I must say, I've not been too impressed with Declan Rice's deliveries in this World Cup. No, I mean, he's had some great ones. I think who did he assist in the second game? I can't remember exactly, but it's been nowhere near as consistent as it is for Arsenal. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Westbrook says, "Do you think there will be goals in the first 90 minutes?" For sure. Oh, wait. Do you think there will be 2 goals in the first 90 minutes? My man, I'm not trying to help you with your parlay, okay? I'm not over here trying to give gambling advice. I'm sorry. I'm not liable, my friend. Confused geriatric, great name. I'm supporting England because of their English media, actually. Because of their English media. The team always gets bashed every World Cup. It's so sad to see them not getting the support they deserve. That's fair. That is a very fair point to say. They're not the victims, per se. Like, a lot of people really it's just sports fandom, to be fair. You know, the players don't deserve the hate. The players don't deserve outright, like, people coming out and saying horrible things about them. But because of the way their fandom typically is, people hate certain clubs because a certain fan of that club was mean to them or wasn't very humble. The same thing can be said for national teams. So the amount of people that I've met that support, what do they call it? They call it ABE, anyone but England, just because of the media and because of cockiness. It's a lot of people, but the players don't deserve that. Not in my opinion, at least. Ken King says the difference in English media is the difference is English media is in English. Exactly. No, but you're right. It's not going to reach you. Danny's saying being English and hearing you say Norway is gonna win and score first is triggering me. You know what? Like, I'm watching this right now. I haven't been talking too much about the game, but Anthony Gordon is on the ball right now. I guarantee you he's either going to pass it backwards or he's going to pass it straight into his first man, and England aren't going to. Oh, you know what? To be fair, he passed it over to, I think that was Rice, and they won a corner. But what I was about to say is I guarantee you nothing's going to come out of it. And nothing did come out of it. England have the majority of the possession. They have the lion's share right now, but they don't have the final touch. Norway Haaland hasn't gotten on the ball yet at all. But typically he doesn't anyway. He's going to find one touch, and that could be enough to get it over the line. I don't think that. From what I've been seeing right now, England are dominating the ball, but there's nothing decisive going on right now. And this English team is also quite. This English team is also they're not always on it, so they could snap into gear any second now. And everything that I'm saying, I'll eat my words. But I just think that the second that Norway get a good counter, the second that Norway find a tiny bit of space, but they've just lost the ball right now pretty easily to Harry Kane. The second that happens, then anything could go on. Let's see. Puna says, no Harry Maguire. No Harry Maguire. No. He hasn't been in the tournament at all. I'm not sure if you're asking that. But first time my comment has resulted in a YouTuber making a poll made my day. Hassan, ask me more questions. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. Like I have like a bunch of like mock things to talk about, like just general topics and stuff. But every now and then, and when a good question pops up, then it makes a poll, of course. Good boy says, you think he will... good body, sorry, not good boy. Says, you think he will flop at Barca? You're talking about Anthony Gordon. I don't think he'll flop at Barca. Well, the word flop at Barca means a lot of different things. I don't think that Barca are going to see a 90 million euro player. He's not going to score more than 12 goals next season. No doubt, across all competitions, he's not going to score more than 12 goals, which is a decent return. But for 90 million euros, especially in an attacking position... I think Rashford scored 20 goals for Barca, didn't he? So you'll see some people that say he does a good job because he's going to be doing a lot of pressing. You'll see some people say he does a bad job because he's not going to be scoring as much. He's never been a high-scoring player in the first place, so it depends on the way you want to look at it. I think, to me, he will not be worth 90 million euros. If you think that means he's going to be a flop, then sure, yes. George says Rice is playing with half a back. He has a back injury. Yeah, I mean, from carrying Arsenal, was that the joke you're making? From carrying Arsenal, or do you mean he actually has a back injury? I know he does have a niggling back injury, but I don't know if you were making a joke or not. Yeah, the reality is that most of these players are playing injured. We do have to understand that. If you didn't know, O'Reilly with the ball into the box, but it just goes over the head of Madueke, and Norway are back on the ball. If you didn't know, most football players, most athletes actually, at any decent level, I would say even at like university level, like the highest level of sports I ever played was rugby in university for like the C team. But most athletes that play lots of games are always playing injured. They always have some sort of niggling injury that they picked up years ago or the previous week or something, and they're playing through it. And a lot of them take painkillers, injections, whatever it is that they need to get over it. So that's happening for sure. But we only get the big headlines for the big players. Oh, Nico O'Reilly, but just over the top of Madueke, but he does gather. It did look like he touched his hand, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, good ball across the box. O'Reilly it came to him really quickly, so he wasn't able to control it so well, but he puts his hand up saying, thank you for that. England are getting closer, but let's see. Yeah, most athletes are always playing with an injury. We only see the big guys. Like it's only highlighted for the superstars. So it's an excuse, but it's not really an excuse to me. Casual says, thank God you're alive now and I don't have to listen to biased broadcast commentary. Why? I'm supporting Kobe Mainu. Fred Shed says, hate watchers are weird people. I mean, if you think about it, everyone is kind of a hate watcher depending on who you support. We're going to do another pack opening right now. Everyone is kind of a hate watcher in some sense. But the people who don't have any skin in the game whatsoever and are just, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That is weird. I kind of convinced myself, didn't I, over there? LePron says, Norway seems so risk-averse at the moment. Can't win like this. No, England are better on the ball. They're waiting for their moment. Yeah. Swag says the first 23 minutes, what's the game been like so far for someone who's only tuned in? England dominating most of the ball. They've gotten a couple of crosses into the box, but haven't really made anything of them. Their final touch, they haven't really. Yeah, the final ball has really been lacking. When it has gone anywhere near an English player, their final touch has somewhat been lacking. But they're knocking on the door. You know, it's a marathon. Norway, not really in it. They haven't really countered too quickly, and every time a second ball is there to be won, a Norwegian player hasn't won it. So they need to wake up a bit. But I don't know. I just get this. I get a sense that the game is warming up. The game is warming up really slowly. Let's do a pack opening right now. By the way, before I yap a bit too much. Danny says it's a close game to call for sure. Got my fingers crossed. I'd love for us to meet Argentina in the semis and win. That'll be a massive. Do you know how big Argentina versus England would be? Whew. I mean, you obviously know, but that would be so big. Okay. First up, Bosnia, Edin Dzeko, Germany, Anton, the man who got Germany's second goal disallowed against Paraguay, which led to them being gone. Portugal, Ruben Dias. I was in Lisbon once, and I pronounced Bruno Fernandes as Bruno Fernandes, and this Portuguese guy just laughed in my face. Ecuador, what does this guy say though? The Cabo Verde team. Ooh, that's a biggie. Austria, Danzo. Panama. Game's about to get started. Is that Clement Turpin reffing this game? I don't know if you guys have like a favorite referee. I don't know if that's a weird thing to have, but I have one, and it's him. 23 minutes gone, nothing happened. So no, guys, no Norwegian or English players yet at all. I feel like we're doomed to go to extra time in this game, aren't we? Let's see. Krishna says, what more would it take for Harry Kane to get a Ballon d'Or shout? He needs to win the World Cup. No doubt about it. He needs to win the World Cup. That's pretty much all he needs to do. If he scores 2 goals a game for the rest of the cup and ends as top scorer, Jude Bellingham on the ball, but he gets fouled. Is that a foul? Is that a foul? It looked like the Norwegian defender got the ball there. Let's take a look at this replay. No, he didn't. That's a foul. That's fair enough. Good position. Good position for England over here for this foul just outside the box. Jude Bellingham has really been on it in this tournament. We'll talk about him just now, but the question was, we'll talk about Kane first. If Kane ends this tournament with the golden ball and then also player of the tournament, if France or Argentina win in the end, well, Argentina's not going to, he wouldn't actually get, because England might face Argentina in the next round. If Argentina beats Switzerland, which they might not, I don't think it'll be enough. I don't think he has the PR of some of the biggest stars. I don't think Harry Kane's PR, if I'm honest with you, I might say something controversial right now, but I think Harry Kane's PR is way weaker than Erling Haaland's. That's a good poll question. But let's watch this free kick. Oof. Okay, a lot of power, but just over the bar. It was always rising. Always rising. Water breaks are trash, for true. Emmanuel BTW, where do you live? Vienna, Austria. England playing haram ball. They're not playing haram ball. Well, they're not playing haram ball. They're just passing the ball around. Norway on a chance for an attack right now, but they're being closed down so quickly. They're being closed down so quickly by the English, but they have to retreat. I think they just need to get some time on the ball right now. But I mean, look at Look at Bellingham. Look at Bellingham as soon as the ball comes onto his side. They're doing well. Yeah, the England are doing very well. Mulai says, as a United fan, free Kobe Mainu once again. Yeah. Regulated Screen says, what's the correct way to pronounce Bruno Fernandes? It is. I think it's like Bruno Fernandes, like, but imagine a Portuguese accent. It is Bruno Fernandes, but like the butchered version is that a lot of English people or English speaking people use as Bruno Fernandes, which we're just trying. Rice can score from there, the free kick. Yeah, maybe. Sørloth, I've never been super convinced of him on the wing, but it's been working so far for Norway. He does do quite well to drag defenders away for Haaland. So let's see. When the game opens up, that's when England have a lot of problems. The Norwegians are rowing again. Gosh darn. Feared says, is Norway struggling? I wouldn't say they're struggling. They're not on the ball. They're doing well to contain England. England haven't had any clear-cut opportunities at all yet. Okay, let's do a poll right now for... Oh, wait. Let's do a poll right now for... who has better PR? I think the answer is obvious, but having numbers back up this sort of thing is always worthwhile. Also, I didn't say it during the hydration break, but do drink water. Bit of water spillage over there. S says, sorry, Sefrend, Swarfrend. Do you think they'll find another excuse to put ads, aka hydration breaks, in the next World Cup? Well, undoubtedly, no doubt about it. Can I tell you something? Hydration breaks are here to stay. Another poor delivery by Rice into the box for England. Like I'm saying, man, like Rice, I've been very disappointed with his delivery so far in this tournament. Very disappointed. Yeah, hydration breaks are here to stay, man. Whether you like it or not, they're making too much money. They're making way too much money for them to go away at this point. So I think whoever hosts the next World Cup, they're going to take a look at, and this is FIFA we're talking about, right? They're going to take a look at all this and be like, we're doing it again. Andre says, will you watch the Argentina-Switzerland match? It's a tough ask, man. 3 a.m., so I'm not sure. I might wake up for the second half. Let's see, but I don't think I'll stream it. Okay. What do we want to talk about? We wanted to also the momentum bar is a bit broken. We wanted to talk about Argentina's favoritism and FIFA. So I think everyone has heard at this point or been exposed to all of the alleged favoritism that FIFA has been showing for Argentina. They get all the calls that a lot of teams are penalized for, a lot of times in the same game, all of that. If you watched my most recent video that was posted yesterday, I think, my opinion is that it's not favoritism per se, it's just poor refereeing. It really is. A case could be made that it's poor refereeing that goes in favor of a lot of the larger nations. England have definitely benefited from it. You take a look at the game versus Congo. No, I think it was against Ghana. Sorry, not Congo, against Ghana, where there were a couple of tackles that were just flying in for English players. I think Pickford had one on the edge of the box in the direction that Norway are playing in right now. Konza, another one that should have been a penalty. The same thing has happened for several teams. I think Netherlands got away with 17 fouls against Morocco, and nothing happened. Like they didn't get any yellow cards whatsoever, not even cautions. So I think it's just incompetence. And the guys are overcorrecting a lot for a lot of their previous mistakes. I'm not one of those people that likes to buy into the whole conspiracy theory debate. Norway with some good possession, by the way. Ryerson into the box. Erling Haaland with you see this. Haaland has a header right now, but it does go straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. But I think that's his first touch in the box. I think that's his first touch in the box the entire game. I think that was a foul, by the way, on Kane. Norway with some good moments. Ooh, it's a goal! Oh, is that a goal? Is that 1-0? Oh my god! Oh my god! I think that was a foul on Harry Kane in the lead-up, by the way, so they're gonna go ahead and check that out. But is that 1-0 to Norway? Oh my! Did you see that goal? What the? By Sheldrop. I was kind of bashing him a little bit. I was kind of bashing a little bit for Nusa not playing over there. But Sheldrop has gone and that was an incredible. Was that a cross? Was that a shot? Let's take a look at this. I think that's a foul. I think they're going to bring that back. But even still, let's take a look at this. This is definitely a cross. This has got to be a cross. Oh, what a shame that they're going to disallow that. At least they should disallow it. Oh, great strike. Insane strike. Insane strike. What the hell? Yeah, let's see what they do let's see what they do when they bring it back for this. Guys, I mean, what a goal. Absolute banger. Tommy Novasetti, hello, nice to see you. You're saying think they'll be there at every regular season game as well? Do you mean hydration breaks? Most likely not. Are they going to allow this? Oh, it's allowed. Oh my god, wasn't a foul. Okay, interesting. Am I frozen? I am frozen. God, I broke the camera. Let me reset it. Okay. We're good. What the? Okay, that is the first really controversial. That is the first really controversial moment of this game. So, there's going to be a lot of talking points over that. We'll go into it a little bit at halftime. Oh my, what a goal! What did I say? Norway were going to score first. Belanik says the refereeing has been super inconsistent for sure. In this game too. But let's see. Samson says, no, but you really can't say that the majority of Argentina's matches have been horrible officiating. I can't. I think that there've been some really key moments that have been definitely questionable. They didn't call that back, guys. That is 1-0 to Norway. Wow. Wow. Okay. So now we're going to see a different England, or at least we have to. Oh, it's happening again. Or I'm just brainstorming titles for the reaction video that's going to come. As I was it's actually quite funny. As I was talking about Argentina and a lot of the fouls that have been called in their favor, for example, strike there by is that Sørloth on the left. Norway are getting into this game. You see, England are going to have to push forward a lot more now. This is going to give Norway a lot of opportunities to stake some claims and get more chances in the box. And if you give Erling Haaland more chances in the box, even Sørloth. God, I'm a bit scattered at the moment, but you can't deny Odegaard with a shot. Pickford fumbles it a tiny bit. You'd expect him to hold on to that a little bit better. A little bit better. It reminded me of Sene Lammens last night for Belgium against Spain. But yeah, you can't deny that Argentina have gotten some good goals in their favor. Like, for example, there was a call that was disallowed. The goal was allowed for Austria, for them against Austria. Similarly, a goal was disallowed for Egypt against Argentina, where both fouls that happened in the lead up for those goals were fouls. Both goals shouldn't have been allowed, but Argentina's was allowed. But then again, a lot of chances, a lot of things have gone against Argentina too. So it's a touchy subject, and it's going to be debated quite a lot more, and I'll probably make dedicated videos on them too, but let's see for now. Wow. Wow. What a game. What a game we have right now. I'm excited. Danny says, I can't believe they've allowed that. I want to take a look at the replay, but the one that I saw, it looked like he went straight through the back of Kane. Hive says, why didn't they do a review? I think they did do a review, but they didn't. Well, I mean, they didn't have the referee walk up to the monitor, which is probably what you were saying. They should have done that. That's a really big inconsistency in this entire cup, isn't it? Sometimes the referee goes to look at the monitor, sometimes he doesn't. What's the rule about it? For similar challenges too. Giuseppe says, imagine if Norway win it all. Norway are not out of place. Norway are not out of place right now at all. I'll tell you that much. Amongst all the teams that are in the competition right now, they could go very far. They could go very far indeed. Andre says, I think it got on the ball before he kicked Kane. It was not intense enough to give a foul over that. From that single replay, I thought it will be a valid goal. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Man United signing Andre Santos? He's an okay player. Eminem says, that's very weird refereeing overall in the World Cup. France versus Paraguay was insane, as you said in the video. Yeah, you can't just punch players and then get away with it. Casual says, you agree that with the Argentina favoritism thing? I don't necessarily agree with it, but here they are. Cam says, Tinashe, please hear my question. I think it's a good debate. What's your question? Cam, did you ask before? Sorry. Referee on field just for executing decisions that are made by the video team. More eyeballs without pressure on field. Better decisions. Oh. So you're saying the video team needs to make the decisions and not the person on the field. I disagree with that. But Norway on the ball. Sørloth with Haaland. He's taken way too much time. That's a waste. That is a massive waste over there. The game just opened up so well for Norway. Haaland was up there with him. It was a 2-versus-1. Great defense there, but I think that was Konza. That's a waste. That's a waste. That's a let-off for England. Yeah, Norway have just crawled their way. I told you that I sensed that Norway, once they got a good opportunity, it's fair enough. No one could have expected the way that goal was scored, but I just felt it. I felt it. Peter says, Admiral, that's because no one speaks ill of the dictator and keeps their freedom. Mbappe is listening. Free the referee. Cam Code says free the referee from decision making totally. I think that's not within the spirit of the game, man. I'm not sure if you're joking or if you're serious, but I think that's not within the spirit of the game. Like, corner, and again, a poor delivery by Rice. How many corners have England taken so far in this game? Every single one of them has been taken by Rice, I believe. Every single one of them has been an absolute dud. He's not getting past the first man ever. Okay, he's gotten it into Bellingham here, but poor height. Okay, here's the foul again. This angle that I've looked at made it look like he might have gotten the ball. Yeah, Cam, I'm not sure that this is in the spirit of the game because you have to have a referee on the pitch, and he has to make the decisions immediately in real time as they happen. The video referee is there to confirm it, but it's been used not so great. Anthony Gordon, nothing comes of it. Again, England's wingers have been atrocious. England's wingers have been atrocious in this game so far. Rice hasn't been good. Norway, on the other hand, defended very well. Shellstrop, great goal. Sørloth, a lot to be desired. Sørloth, not Sørloth. Sørloth. Anderson to Gordon. No one in the box for England, though. Bellingham. What was? You know what? I need to just keep my mouth shut. I need to just keep my mouth shut right now. He's him. Bellingham. Great goal. Like, he is up for this and this. He is really up for it. He is really up for it. God damn. Big scare. But I'm happy with this half. Okay, we're at the halftime right now. I'm happy with this half. Let's take a look at this again. Elliot Anderson wins the ball over to Gordon. As I was trashing Gordon, gets it into Bellingham, has a lot of work to do here. Edge of the box, drives it through, left foot goal. Wow. That's a great goal. And that's England are back in it. England right back in it. Come on, Jude. Konza's performance in this World Cup, not so great. I think after he started in the first game against Croatia, he was responsible for one of the goals, and then he kind of has played bit part for the rest of it, for good reason. I don't think that any of the defenders, other than maybe Gay, Madueke with a bit of a drag back. I don't think any of the defenders for England, other than maybe Gay, have showered themselves in much glory. Nico O'Reilly as well has left quite a bit to be desired. His inverting hasn't been fantastic. Harry Kane with a shot from distance. Nyland with a save. Peter says, we need Rashi just because my guy needs a redemption arc. Rashford already has a redemption arc. If you mean for the English national team, then I'm guessing you're talking about like things like the Euro 2020. Then fair enough. But he's had a fantastic year at Barcelona and all of that. And everyone knows how good he is. But there are certain aspects of his game that are never going to go away. Great turn by Bellingham. Releases Gordon. Okay, Gordon's in the game now. I'm expecting big things from him. Bellingham, for sure. That was horrible defense by Norway as well. Oh, Kane! Oh, 2-1. Is it offsides? Is it offsides? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, he's off. England are back. You know what? I take everything that I said back. I was slandering England too much earlier on, and I clearly don't know what I'm talking about because They've turned on the style now. And was I saying earlier on that they're a very reactive team as well? Half time. Half time, guys. Half time, and 1-1. England, Norway. This game has lived up to expectations, in my opinion. Each of these goals has been of a very, very high quality. Norway's kind of came out of nowhere. I thought, hopefully they show a couple more replays over here, but I thought that this should have been disallowed for offsides, or not offsides, for a foul in the build-up to that game. So I think there's a bit of a question mark on that one. But great goal, insane shot by Sheldrup on the left-hand side. Bellingham's goal, probably even a bit more intentional. I don't think Sheldrup meant to actually score that, but Bellingham's goal gets it on the far end, gets it on the edge of the box, dribbles it all the way through. Great goal. England are alive again, and it was the first half an hour of this game. It was kind of just back and forth, a lot of sideways passing for England. Some like attacks that were over right before they even began for Norway. But I'm happy how much it sprang to life, and I'm expecting a big second half here. I'm expecting a really big second half here. Andre says Viagra Bellingham at it again. That's a bit crazy. You think it just took a while for it to kick in? Maybe he took it just before the game started, and maybe you should have had a bit more of a lead time with that one. You might be right, man. You might be right. What a fucking goal. Que golazo. That man has Maasai blood from Kenya. That's Sirlot's wasted chance. Yes, for sure. I mean, Sirlot had two good chances towards the end there. One, he skied over the bar. The second was just... It's one of those ones they're just going to look back on at the end of the game, for time goes, a lot, but at the end of the game and also in the future, if things don't go well for Norway, because he really should have made more of that opportunity. Haaland was just open right there. It was a good screen by the defender. I forget who it was. I think it was Konza, but good screen there. Lex says, sadly, halftime now. The game finally took up the pace here. Yeah, talk about momentum shifts. Let's take away halftime, actually. Ken King, Hansi Flick would be proud of that back line. Which one? Peter, I meant for the Three Lions. I've seen some of his matches at the Catalonians, and he played. Hopefully he'll carry that energy back to Manchester. For Rashford. Yes, you're correct. Rashford, he's been all right in this tournament, hasn't he? I think, at least. I'm not as much of a fan of the little goatee he has going on over there. It's a bit uneven. I think a man of his means should be able to have a little bit more of a well-rounded goatee. Who scored? I think you can see it on screen right now. Can you not? Let me show you. We got Sheldrup, Andreas Sheldrup, and Mr. Bellingham himself. Bellingham is what many are calling him. Who's seeing the Odyssey next week? I am, for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm very keen for that. I mean, who wouldn't want to go home to... Who's his wife in the movie? Anne Hathaway? Gordon is what's wrong with wingers. I don't know if he's what's wrong with wingers. He actually is probably more of a traditional winger than any of the modern wingers. Like, if you think like the more traditional wingers in football throughout history, probably the best example in my opinion, and I know I'm biased, but in my opinion is probably Ryan Giggs. If you want to talk about winger, like winger, someone who goes down the line, crosses it into the box, can get a goal here and there. Like, if you think Mohamed Salah or Sadio Mane are closer to wingers, they're more inside forwards. So technically, saying Anthony Gordon is what's wrong with wingers, technically might not be factual. I'll leave right now. God, I sound like a dickhead saying that. Also, let's do a pack opening. We haven't even done it. How is Pedri and Bellingham... Sorry, KT says, how is Pedri and Bellingham a conversation? I'm not sure I want the stop the clock. Oh, it's still going? Oh, that's my bad. Pause. I'm not sure I want to bring the Barca and Real Madrid like viciousness into this comments into this chat. There will be a lot of casualties. Okay, we'll do another pack opening quickly. They're showing the replays now. I'm really enjoying this game, guys. I hope you guys are too. Congo. Scotland. And then we'll do another one just now as we, just before the half starts. Why not? I have a ton of them over here and we need to get through them because when this World Cup is over, these packs are going to be worth nothing. And I bought a lot of them. So we're definitely going to be getting our money's worth. Uzbekistan. We haven't gotten any Norwegian or English players. We've opened 3 packs so far. We've gotten 3 Netherlands players in this pack opening alone. 2, Kluivert and Gakpo. Why is Madueke starting over Saka? Saka definitely wasn't fit before this tournament began. And even despite that, I think that Thomas Tuchel's made it very clear that what he wants from his wide men is maintaining width and running in behind, which is not Saka can do that, but this is not his strength. His strength lies in receiving the ball at feet, taking his man on, making the right decision. Whereas Madueke maintains his width more. The only issue is that he has no end product. Man can't do much. I think this is a foul, the way this... Like, we've seen many goals not given because of tackles that are less egregious than that in this very World Cup. Cam says, I keep posting this. How do we expect referees to make cognitively sound and consistent decisions on the pitch? Impossible task. I disagree. I disagree. Listen, VAR and video assistant referees were only really brought into the fray 6 years ago. Like wide adoption of it was like 6-7 years ago. Was VAR used at the 2018 World Cup? I don't think so. Was it used before lockdown? Maybe in like the Premier League or some of the bigger leagues, but not widespread. And yes, people complained about referees before that, but I think there is so much more scrutiny of it because the idea of having video assistants and extra refereeing personnel on the job is that there should be much less error. But we're actually getting more of it because all of us can take a look at what the VAR teams are looking at and be like, guys, let's be real. I think that the spirit of the game needs to have the on-field decision being made by the referee, and they might make the wrong decision, but that's the game. And we have to have it. We have to keep it that way. We have to keep it that way and just make the referees be a little bit better and make the VAR teams not kind of try to bail out their friends all the time. Who are these referees? All these VAR guys and the referees on the field are referees and do belong to the same associations. So we just have to hold them to a higher standard. Hive says, didn't you buy a whole box of these? Yeah, I did. I'll do another one just now. I'll do another pack just now. Don't worry about it. I was just looking at the replays of that file and talking a bit on referees. Feels like EAFC with the cards long. Sorry about that. And we've opened 3 packs so far. We haven't gotten one English or Norwegian player. Lex says, on the other hand, we have seen some goals given with way clearer fouls up front. Yeah. Yeah. I have so Cam, I think referees are fully capable of making good decisions, making of refereeing good games. Let's put it that way. Oh, let's put it to a poll actually. Let's put it to a poll because I don't want to keep talking out my bum and it's wrong. And I'm the only one that is saying this and not everyone is agreeing with me. Should on-field referees make the final call or VAR referees? Let's see. My argument is that it's just not in the spirit of the game to push that responsibility to someone that's not on the field. But let's see. Let's see what everyone else thinks. Bet says fouls are subjective. That's the problem. We don't have a clear picture of what is and isn't a foul. Cam, I get what you're saying. It's impossible to have perfect judgment while running constantly. I fully understand what you're saying for sure. Fully understand. Okay, next pack. Oh, we're going to talk about the Steam Summer Sale as well, and then also the United States and Donald Trump and Fuller and Balogun and Brazil too. But next pack, Sweden. The Paraguay Association. Whew. Also, that Paraguayan senator who threatened a lawsuit against Kylian Mbappe after she said some questionable things. Very interesting. Ecuador. Germany. Tar. Portugal. Guys, we are just not getting English or Norwegian players. This is kind of an insane pack. This has never happened. 4 packs down so far and nothing. We'll do another one just before the game starts. Sirlot sold the game. Fred the Shed says, is EAFC any good? Haven't played one of them in like 10 years, but starting to feel the temptation again for a football game. I haven't played it. I haven't played FIFA since FIFA 20. So I don't know. I haven't owned a FIFA since FIFA 19, I think. Game says Steam Summer. Well, the summer sale ended like 2 days ago, I think. Actually, it's been gone for a while. Yeah, dude, I spent way too much money on games in the summer sale. I think I probably got like I spent like 500 euros on games. It's very ill advised, and I never will do. But I saved like 1.5k, so. The math is solid. It's fair. What's my opinion on Jonathan Tah? Very good player. Also, you have to give him props because he's the one that stepped up for Germany to take that kick when a lot of other players who were more suited to it didn't. Yeah, nothing against Jonathan Tah for sure. Bundesliga winner with Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. Yeah, the US. Right. I want to know what everyone thinks about what happened. I don't know how many people watching here are American, but I want to know what you feel, how you feel about Donald Trump's meddling in the Fuller and Balogun situation where he got the red card suspended, not taken away, suspended. Because in my opinion, I think that the president of the country, of the US, has just set back North American, American soccer so many years, so many unbelievable years. Like, go back to the beginning of the World Cup and take a look at how the vibes were for this American team. The win against Paraguay, the win against Australia, the loss against Turkey was, I mean, it was just a loss against a team that should have done better. But everything other than that, the win against Bosnia after that, I think that we're reaching a real tipping point. I think that the US is still going to progress, and the progression has gone up for sure. But it's just no one is going to take them seriously now if this sort of thing can be happening. And by the way, if you didn't know, the US is likely going to get the World Cup again in 2038. Am I correct in that? Because yeah, it's next is going to be Portugal. After that, it's going to be Saudi Arabia. Yeah, 2038. 2038, because I think the criteria now is that a hosting nation needs to have a certain number of eligible stadiums. And because Europe is going to be hosting because South America is going to be hosting certain games in the next cycle, because the first two games are going to be played in Uruguay and Argentina to commemorate 100 years. Also, the game's about to start again. Okay, it started. Yeah. Sorry. The first two games are going to be played in Uruguay and Argentina to commemorate the first World Cups, because it's going to be 100 years since the first World Cups. Well, over 100 years, because the first one was in 1930. Well, no, 100 years exactly. It's going to be 2030. So South America is going to be out. South America is not going to be eligible to be picked for hosting for the next, I think, two cycles. The same goes for Europe because of the fact that Portugal and Spain are hosting. The same goes for Africa because Morocco is also hosting. And then we have Saudi Arabia next after that, which means that they're not allowed. They're Asia. Yeah, sorry, it means that Asia's not going to be able to host it. And then that leaves the US because no one else has the infrastructure. So the US is going to get the World Cup again. Half has started. Harry Kane has already been fouled outside of the box. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll on whether you think the US Soccer Federation is stronger than it was before the World Cup. Krishna says, I mean, Ronaldo card was suspended too. It was suspended. That's very true. But I think that there is a matter of optics. It's the matter of optics that's happened over here, and how vocal Trump was and how vocal everyone involved in the situation was that made it happen. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of it is on FIFA too. I think all of it is on FIFA. Most of it is on FIFA. But yeah, the vibes are just gone. Good Body says you're from the US. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Am I crazy? Game moves. Oceania can. Sorry. Eze with a shot straight at the wall. Game moves. Oceania can host. Can they? Do they have the infrastructure? Because I think one of the new stipulations is that they need 16 stadiums that have at least 40,000 capacity. Can Oceania host? Well, I guess they can across different countries, right? Because there's precedents for that. Swiss Chris, I think it would be neat if Australia and New Zealand host the World Cup in 2034. They're not going to. Saudi Arabia already has the rights for 2034, but it's 2038, which is the one that is now under question. Brandon says the US team looked great up until Belgium. They returned to their baseline after that game. I'll do the poll right now. I can definitely see this half going somewhat similarly to the first half, where it's going to be a lot of feeling each other out somewhat as everyone gets used to the whatever tactics were talked about during halftime. Okay, let's do the poll. Has this tournament improved US soccer's reputation? We will do. I didn't do another pack, but we'll do one just now. There we go. Yeah, okay, we'll do another pack opening just now. But let me know, what do you guys think? Has it increased? Has it decreased? I think that it has definitely taken a turn for the worse. Lex says, question, if Oceania hosts the World Cup, will Australia still need to qualify because they switched to Asian qualification? That's an interesting, obviously, that's interesting. That is, I don't think, you know what, I don't think FIFA's going to be too bold to host over more than, let's say, like 3 countries. So if Australia is one of those countries, they're good. If not, then let's do another pack opening quickly. Ooh, Eze wins the ball. By the way, Saka and Eze are on the field right now. They've been subbed on. Saka with a shot. Immediately, that's the sort of movement that Madueke does not offer you. Eze's come on for Declan Rice. He's going to be playing a lot further forward, which I'm guessing means that Bellingham's going to be somewhat. Let me see exactly where he is. On the left, I'm guessing. With more license to roam forward. But number 10 is clearly going to be Eze. Good attack here by Norway. Sørloth. Sørloth has not been. He's definitely not impressed very much in this game. He's trying to do exactly what Shellstrop did before. Good game. Let's see. Okay, last pack, and we'll do another one at. We'll do another one at the first hydration break. Turkey. Iran. Is this Norway's first corner, by the way? The US. Goes through. Again, poor deliveries. Very poor deliveries all around in this game. I do got to say. Tunisia. Haaland with another shot. Must be his second touch of the entire game. Senegal. Yeah, we are not getting any Norwegians or English people in this pack opening at all, guys. I'm sorry. We don't know who's going to win and who isn't. Another corner for the Norwegians. Is Reece injured? I think he's on the bench, but I also think that he didn't train fully during the week. I think that's what I was reading before the game. Another corner for the Norwegians. Get it past the first man at the very least. Get it into a good area. Mr. Ryerson. For whatever reason, I thought that Ryerson was German. I know he plays for Borussia Dortmund. That's probably the reason why. Good delivery. That's probably the best delivery we've had so far in this game in a corner. Cam Code says, guys, can we all appreciate how great Tinash's content and football expertise is? I really appreciate that, but I have no football expertise. I'm just a guy with too much free time. But thank you. Thank you very much for the compliments. I really like that. You have me lots of hours of relaxation and entertainment. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Also, Cam, because you're very opinionated on football. Who do you think? What do you think would make for a really good deep dive? How about that? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Header. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Is that a goal? Is that a goal? That's it. That's it. 2-1 Norway. 2-1 for Oh my God. What was I saying just now? I think that was Norway's third corner. They've had this fluster of corners. So far in this game, coming all off the back of each other right now. Every single one of them has been dangerous. Yeah, 3 corners. 3 corners back to back to back. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. England have a lot of questions to answer. Every single one of those deliveries has been really good. Let's take a look at this. Push. Listen, if that is given, he's offsides. He's offsides. No. He's offsides. Calm down. Everyone, calm down. Everyone, calm down. But even still, I don't think that's a foul on Elliot Anderson over there. Holland pushes him, but we see that sort of contact a lot. If you're English and you think that was a foul, then you don't watch Premier League, you don't watch Championship, you don't. But let's see. Okay, we're going to VAR. It's going to be called for offsides. I'm fairly certain. God, both of Norway's, I will say this, both of Norway's goals have been somewhat, I initially thought that there was a lot to dissect in them. I don't think that's a foul. Anderson goes down quite easily. He's quite weak in that challenge there. I think that should be called off, but let's see. Let's see what they say. England really lost momentum at halftime. Yeah. Yeah, I thought as much. No goal. Good decision. Wait, for foul? I'm not sure if that was a foul. Let me know what you guys think. You know what? Let's ask this question over here. I think it was offsides. Either way, the goal shouldn't have been allowed. But I think Anderson is weak there. Very, very un-English. Should be a lot stronger. So what happens now? Fred the Shares says, for FFS, chat keeps spoiling the goals because the ITV stream is so behind. Sorry about that, man. Not offsides. Kane is over the line. Oh, he is? Okay, maybe I didn't catch that part. I don't think that was a foul. I think that's a little bit harsh for Norway. I do. Another corner. Richard says you can't just two-handedly push someone in the chest. I think it's a bit soft. I think we see that in every single corner. I think that he's just, listen, this is just my opinion. I think that Anderson is a tiny bit weak there. You're going to see, like, when we all go back to watching, Richard, I don't know who you support in the Premier League, or if you watch the Premier League, but when we all go back to the league season and we watch the corners that happen, I guarantee that your team has benefited from those sorts of, from physicality like that, and you haven't had a problem with it. Danny, am I calling Anderson out for a scrap? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm calling him out for his pride. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but that's just my opinion that he is a little bit weak there. Let's see. I think so. I mean, only 61 people have voted so far, but most people, it seems somewhat 50-50, but with no taking the edge. So it's clearly controversial. Substitution has just happened for Norway. Who's come on? I just seen someone running onto the field. They'll show it just now, but let's see. Let's take a look. Oh, Ryerson's off for Aursnes. Aursnes. Not sure how to pronounce that. Great game we have on our hands right now. Norway with a tiny bit more momentum. Nico O'Reilly cuts out a pass. Ooh, look at the pressing over here. But they got to be careful. They got to be careful, Norway. England have the quality to play themselves into a bit of space. But you can clearly see how Norway have come out right now and, 15 minutes into the second half. Much more pressure being applied to England. Much more. There's a lot more worry that we're seeing from England right now, especially on that right-hand side. Be sure to hydrate, guys. It seems like most of you agree with me that it wasn't a foul, but I don't know how many of you just are doing that because you don't like England or don't want England to win. I personally just think it wasn't a foul. So if you're hate watching and that's your reason for thinking it wasn't a foul, you're the problem. Richard says, if it's a foul, why didn't we get a free kick? I don't know. Too much violence in football? Only in this World Cup. Richard, you're saying you're a Reading fan, haven't been in the Prem for 13 years. Even more reason for you to not think that was a foul, actually. Where are Reading right now? They're in League One, right? Yeah, they're in League One. I must admit, I haven't watched League One in like a decade, maybe even longer at this point. But I have seen the Championship here and there. And I know that League One is quite rough. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think, Richard. Let me know what you think. Also, thank you for joining, my friend. This is all in good fun. We're all friends. Eminem says, hydrating, that's FIFA propaganda. You're correct. I'm a shill. They paid me to say that. Every opinion I've ever had, actually, FIFA paid me to do it. Argentina actually, the check actually hasn't hit my bank account yet. Hasn't hit my bank. The number hasn't hit my bank account just yet, but they did say that if I give them some positive PR, then they're probably going to they're going to send me a couple of M's. Let me just double check this. Also, by the way, this is a Kindle. Hydrate or die straight, says Hive. Wild. Absolutely wild. Peter says the reason I think it wasn't a foul is because this year the Prem ruined my sense of what should be called during corners. I'm very, very. That's okay. This is definitely a foul on Jude Bellingham in the midfield. Gets right back, starts playing it. I'm very curious to see what happens in the Premier League next year. In terms of leniency for these sorts of challenges. Lex says, no, I say no foul because they push each other out of position at every corner ever. You usually just don't fall for a push like that. I guess he just suddenly felt a bit weak because it benefits him. Gordon isn't able to keep the ball in the play. Richard saying, yeah, talking about Reading, I guess, slowly dying thanks to chronic mismanagement. Reading, you mean, your team? Sorry to hear that, my friend. Patrice Motsepe over there watching on. If you don't know it, he is a South African billionaire. Owns Mamelodi Sundowns. Everyone loves him. The president of South Africa is married to his sister. Cam Code says, dude, FIFA should be paying you money to make sensible insight videos for real, or any major publications like The Guardian or what? Oh, The Guardian would never have me. I'm too edgy. Too much of a bad boy. No, I don't. I have nothing but respect. I mean, I quote all these big outlets all the time in my videos, so. England. Over to Anthony Gordon. What can he do here? Ooh, gets past his man. To Harry Kane. Snuffed out. Not the greatest ball. Very slow. Just looping a little bit. I think Haaland has a goal in him in this game, you know. I really do. I really, really do. Give him one chance. You saw what happened against Brazil. David Moon says, no one even knew what hydration was until FIFA incepted the idea into us months ago. Inception? Inception's not possible. Inception's not possible, all right? We extract. We don't incept. I forget what Noosa's coming on. I forget what Joseph Gordon-Levitt's actual lines were in that scene. You know that scene in Inception where he's talking about how Inception isn't possible, and then and then Leonardo DiCaprio's character Cobb is like, I know it. I did it once. On my wife. Hard. I gotta watch Inception later on. I gotta watch Inception. First, we'll watch The Odyssey and then Inception. Great movies, Christopher Nolan. Absolute legend. Is this a hydration break already? Yes. Okay, I'm going to use the toilet very quickly. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. We are back. Hydration break. I'm seeing ads on my screen right now, which tells me all I need to know. And yes, before anyone asks, I did wash my hands. Of course I did. Of course I did. If Norway, sorry, Kukach says if Norway is on par with England, can they be considered a realistic contender for the World Cup? Is this just wishful thinking? Well, look at who's left in the World Cup so far. If we're like, who's left so far in the World Cup? Argentina, Switzerland. Honestly, in my honest opinion, I think Norway can beat both of them. I think Norway can beat both of them for sure. Spain has been like the most controlled team, maybe. Like they're not fantastic. Their finishing isn't great. They hold the ball quite a lot. They're good at working good positions, but they can't finish it off, and they have to be saved by Mikel Merino coming off the bench, and then something going in their favor towards the end of it. They're good, but Norway can beat them for sure. Norway can beat them. Who else do we have? We then have France, who I don't think Norway can beat. So honestly, in my honest, based on not having seen these teams play against each other, France looks the best out of everyone. I think all of us can agree to that. But Norway can beat everyone else. So why not? Why not consider them as one of the teams? Kukac, why not? Richard saying the longer this goes on, the more I think Haaland will just decide to win it. Reece James has just come on for Anthony Gordon. Interesting. I wonder what shape we're going to go with over here. And Oscar Bob has come on for Norway. You know, England still have some good options to look forward to. Marcus Rashford, Watkins, Rogers. Jorgen Strand Larsen on the bench for Norway. Yeah, listen, there is still a lot left to play in this game. Let's see. Sorry, Cam. On the deep dives, maybe about Thomas Tuchel's stations as a manager. Ooh. Well, Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea is definitely on the schedule, but that'll probably come out when club football comes back on our screens. Yeah, Chelsea I have a lot of Chelsea videos to make, if I'm honest with you. Conte's Chelsea, Tuchel's Chelsea. Obviously the current situation at Chelsea and all the mismanagement or strange management. So yeah, good suggestion. But Tuchel as well. A lot of his stints will come soon. Also, I don't know if anyone saw this, but Jurgen Klopp apparently has agreed to become the next German manager. That is going to be a light show right there. Cannot wait for that. Jason says, hope you're recovering well. Missed your coverage over the last week. Well, we are back. We are definitely back. There will most likely be a video based on whoever wins this game, which I'll probably work on as soon as this game is over. And then got one on Paulo Dybala actually coming out soon. This is more of a deep dive. So you can look forward to that. Who do you think can beat France? Spain? Into the box, just over everyone's head. Reece James is playing in the midfield, by the way. Norway on the attack on the left-hand side. Oscar Bob, he's in the box. Ooh. Ooh, looking at Oscar Bob in the box over there and just about to shift onto his favored left. Oh, this is gonna cause England a lot of problems. I'm a very big Oscar Bob fan, if you didn't know. Hassan says, as someone who hasn't watched football long, can someone explain how good Reece James is? Reece James is an absolutely phenomenal football player. He's got the body of a rugby player. He makes good decisions. He's very strong on the ball. He's very light on his feet in a lot of ways, especially for his body size. He's primarily a right back. Cross in for Haaland, but well defended by Gehi. Reece James is primarily a right back, but he is also very, very good in the midfield. So he's just a versatile player. Versatile player and also very good. His problem is that he's always injured. His body is made of glass. He has two, like, if you look at his, again, I keep referring to like his body shape and size. He's so explosive with his movements, but his body is not strong enough to keep up with how strong he actually is. That's the issue. France operates on another level. Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Germany were really poor in this tournament. Aren't they poor all the time? When was the last time Germany were good in a tournament? Well, 2014. They haven't made it past the round of 30. They haven't made it past the last 32 in any tournament since 2014. Another corner for Norway, and watch out, every one of their corners, or most of them, have been very dangerous. Good deliveries have happened all around. Corner count rises. Another good delivery, I think, forces Pickford to come out and palm it. And hits the bar. Oh. Ooh, hits the bar. England do very well to get away from that one. But again, what have we? They can't keep letting Norway get on these corners. What a strange development. How much better Norway are at these dead ball situations here than England. Wild. Krish says Pep should take over Spain for the love of the game. He never will. He's very Catalan. He'll never take over the Spanish team. I think that the Spanish FA probably would not mind him taking over because despite his Catalan roots, but I think Pep Guardiola strikes me as a very principled person. I don't think he wants to be seen as hypocritical if that happens. Excited to see Klopp? Yeah, very excited to see Klopp. Connell says England look a step behind right now, for sure. For sure they do. But they're on the ball now. They've gotten the ball to Reece James a lot, and this is the second cross he's put into the box, and it's just not gone past the first player. They've been very poor. They've been very poor so far. The only one that seems to be able to make things happen is Jude Bellingham. I think he needs to get on the ball. Benjamin says, but wallahi, Haaland has no mercy in this game. He is a menace. Yeah, he might just decide to, as many have said, he might just decide to finish it all himself. Eze with a ball in and well defended by Norway again. Lepradchen says 2021 James is the best version of him. No doubt about that, but he's also rivaled by the most recent season, I think. This is his first actual season where he's been fit the whole year. Most of the year, at least. Team Ethics says these Norway transitions are crazy. England leaves so much space. Yeah. England, oh, good cross. Oh, that was one of those looping ones by Saka that could have gone, like, snuck in by itself, but there's a kid in the crowd with some earmuffs. I'm sorry, but mommy's gonna be screaming if Norway get a goal here. Danny saying ET isn't looking too bad right now. Extra time. I guess that's probably why we haven't packed any Norwegian or English players in this entire watch along so far. The extra time seems to be looming. We'll do another one at full time if there is no winner here. But hey, let's not count anything out. Most of these games in this World Cup have been decided by goals after like the 85th minute. I was looking at a stat. I forget when I was looking at this. I think it was this morning after the Spain winner against Belgium last night. And these games are all decided late. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, England have been knocked out of the quarterfinals more than anybody else. So let's see how this goes. Yaku Fenta, hello. Pep as Italy manager, who says no? I think Pep probably goes to projects where he thinks he can win. let me not say anything further. Connell says this really shows how one-dimensional the wingers we've taken are. Not saying it's wrong shout, but they're struggling to do anything. Yeah, they're just not creative enough. Norway aren't allowing them very much space, and their final balls have been very poor. Having said that, Anthony Gordon gave Bellingham the assist, even though Bellingham did quite a lot of work there to find him in that area. Yes, Norway, I will say Norway look a lot more dangerous when they're on the ball. I mean, everyone is back now for England. And Norway have to come up with something to go. But I just feel like they have just so much. They look a lot more dangerous. I mean, looking at Oscar Bob over here, square up against. Ooh. You see that? Oscar Bob just against Nico O'Reilly has done really well to get right past him. And I don't get that feeling at all when any of England's wingers are on the ball. Giuseppe says, for me, prime James is 2018 Cavs James. What do you mean 2016 Cavs James? 2011 Miami James. Nusa. Well defended there by Saka. And Norway have another corner. Ooh, Magnus Carlsen. He is Norwegian, isn't he? Nike Star says the psychology of national team football is so different from club level. It's impossible to predict which good club managers will succeed at national level. Very true. Which is why, I mean, look at how Carlo Ancelotti has done over here. I want to see how Klopp does with this German team too. There needs to be major buy-in. Like, he needs players to really, really buy in. And I wonder if these players are even capable of that. These German players. Berg with the corner. Good area, but no one on the end of it. Martin Ødegaard with the second bite. Too much. Rico says Norway is playing chess. I mean, that's why Magnus Carlsen is in attendance right now, don't you think? Eves says Norway wingers are going to be interesting in the next years. I think the squad is going to be better in 2 years. Yeah, I mean that's also a very underrated thing to say. A very underreported thing. This Norway squad is very young. Erling Haaland is 25. I think Martin Ødegaard is 27. Well, let me double check the ages right now. Actually, I've got them in front of me. Yeah, Ødegaard 27, Haaland 25. Sørloth, 30. The oldest player is Nyland, who is 35. But most of these guys will definitely be here for the next tournament. No doubt about it. Oscar Bob, of course, 22. Antonio Nusa is 21. I didn't know that. I thought he was actually a little bit older. So yeah, even more of a reason to feel that this team has so much more to give. Ooh, great pass there for Nusa. What can he do here? Great tackle there by Saka. Saka's tracking back has been brilliant. By the way, shout out to Bukayo Saka, who's done a very good job defensively on that left side, on that Norway's left side, his right side. Since he came on, he's been great in that aspect. Oscar Bob. Nusa with a shot. Ooh. Almost with the same sort of strike. Who was it against? I forget who Nusa scored that incredible goal against from the exact same area earlier on in the competition. Someone remind me. Someone remind me, please. Andre said I saw a video that shows the ball hit one of the camera cables before it got to Gordon in the build-up of England's goal. Interesting. I didn't see that. Tommy Novacetti says Miami James was insane. Yes, he was. Dwayne Wade. Confused Geriatric says, wait, Norway have Magnus Carlsen. Why didn't they just put him in as head coach? The strategies would be off the hook. Yeah. I think I saw a video of Magnus Carlsen and Pep Guardiola talking about the similarities between chess and football and finding spaces and all of that. Nico O'Reilly's coming off for Jed Spence. Not the best tournament for O'Reilly. For O'Reilly, I gotta say. Connell says Naipan, Bob. Yeah. Nusa, all young talents considering pretty much everyone will be in their primes for the Euros or the 2030 is mental. No doubt about that. I agree with you. Ivory Coast. Was it Ivory? It was Ivory Coast. You are correct. It was Ivory Coast that Nusa scored that great goal against. That danger is always there for England. The more this game goes on, the more it just looks like Norway are slowly gaining the upper hand. But let's not speak too soon. We're getting into the danger times of each of these games. Yakuventa says, where do you think Pep pops up one day? Oh, where do you think he pops up one day? You think PSG? I don't know. I wonder. Oh, Saka. Oh, great defense. That was close. Great defense. Saka gets past his man, rolls it across the line. Norway living a little bit dangerously. As I'm talking about how good Norway have been looking, England come up with their best opportunity in I don't know how long, actually. Robs says, is Ødegaard a Timu version of Fabregas? That's really harsh. While I do think that Fabregas was a better player, I don't think that that's fair to say. I don't think that's fair to call Ødegaard that or compare him to that. But Fabregas clearly was a much better player, but yeah. Glad Patrick Berg is getting his flowers. This event has been amazing for years. Patrick Berg, I think I've said this before in previous videos. Like I was watching Bodo Glimt during their run in the most recent Champions League season, and in the first leg against Sporting, where Bodo Glimt won, what was it, 3-0? He was fantastic, like really, really good, and also throughout the entire tournament. But that collapse in the second leg against Sporting needs to be studied. Definitely needs to be studied. Luis Suarez in attendance. Uruguay went home a very long time ago, but they are in Miami, and he plays for Inter Miami. Richard says England only seems to wake up when we concede. That's true. I think, oof, you know what? Just based on the past, if this does go all the way to penalties, I think that England are going to have a lot of demons to work through. They definitely have what it takes. They have all the attacking players, but I'm thinking that if the longer this goes, Morgan Rogers just came on, by the way. The longer this goes on, if we see people like Rashford, Ollie Watkins come onto the pitch just to take penalties, it's gonna be a really tough ask for them. It's gonna be a really tough ask for them, and I wonder how it will work out. Norway, I've maintained this throughout this entire game and throughout this entire tournament. I think that Norway are very they're really competitive. They want to go as far as they possibly can, but they're also just they're very much cognizant of the position that they're in, and that this is just a dream for them. They haven't been in a competitive major tournament in 2 decades, over 2 decades, way over almost 3 decades. And now they're here in the quarterfinals, pushing England all the way. They've had a goal disallowed. They scored first. They look more dangerous. Jordan Pickford probably could have caught that, but he palms it away. Spence is wrapped up like a mummy. Nathan says Kobe Mainu might not get a second this entire World Cup, even if England make the final. It's entirely possible. The worst thing would be, Jed Spence. Good pressing by him, almost catches Nyland off guard. The worst thing would be, like I just said, for one of these players to come on the pitch for a penalty. Giuseppe says Prime Suarez, Barca, or Liverpool. It's obviously Barcelona 2015, right? But I've always said this, I've always maintained this. The best individual performance in a season in Premier League history I've ever seen is Luis Suarez 2013-14. Honestly, I don't think any other season compares from an individual perspective. The things that man was doing. 31 goals, missed the first 5 games of the season thanks to a ban from the previous year. Was that the racist? Was that the racist abuse of Evra, or was it the bite? I forget which one. And then comes out, scores every game. For some reason, decides to dunk on Norwich every week. Carries Liverpool almost to a title, if not for the slip. Yeah, I mean, there have been so many great performances in the Premier League, but that has to be, for me, the greatest singular season that I've seen. What do you? I'm sure. I know everyone has their own opinions. What do you guys think? Richard says, as soon as the ball is kicked, England have a lot of demons to work through. This is true. Cam says, from what we've seen in this World Cup, almost every strong nation severely struggled against much weaker teams, with the exception of France. It's also why the argument of dilution of the World Cup, thanks to the expanded format, hasn't held all that much weight. Because most of the big boys, like you said, apart from France, have struggled, have really, really struggled from day one. Congo, for example, for a split second, were about to go through to the next round. They wouldn't have made it into this World Cup under the previous rules. Rob says England will lose on penalties because they like stutter steps. The stutter step has been claiming many victims. Connell says Norway have been playing on house money since they got here, not to mention they beat Brazil, Senegal, and look better than England right now, for sure. Tommy Novasetti, it's crazy how much more famous now. Oh, you're talking about Haaland? It's crazy how much more famous he is now that he came to America. I have people who have never watched football in their lives ask me if I've heard of him, lol. Yeah. I was watching TV the other day and my girlfriend was on the couch and she's scrolling through reels on Instagram and I'm hearing that Haaland chant coming for her phone. That Haaland, Haaland. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is not your usual. This is not your usual algorithm. Kane's kind of been dead in this game. Yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't been himself, more per se. But you know what? Like Norway have had a very solid game plan. I've actually noticed a couple times Kane has done his usual thing where he draws back a little bit to try and get on the ball a little bit more. As soon as that happens, he's just been marked out the game. And whoever is like, what his usual thing is he comes in, gets the ball, does a turn all the way, takes it all the way to the left hand side, right hand side, sorry, for his stronger right foot for the right winger to chase down. That ball hasn't actually happened almost at all in this game. And also his first touch has been off. You're right, Richard. Ball in. Oh, Bellingham with the header. I think we're heading to extra time, guys. I think we're heading to extra time. Benjamin says Jamie Vardy was better. No. Do you mean as in like best like Premier League seasons? I mean, Jamie Vardy was good, but I mean, I can name like 5 people who had better individual seasons than Jamie Vardy off the top of my head. Yaya Toure, Mohamed Salah, Erling Haaland, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba. I think all those players did both. Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, 2010, Erling Haaland, 2023, Yaya Toure, 2014, Wayne Rooney, 2010. I think all of them had better years than Vardy. Vardy had a better story. I'll put it that way, in my eyes. Ken King, the Chiellini buy for 2014 actually wasn't in effect for that year. It was in effect going into the next year when Suarez went to Barcelona. So he missed the beginning of that season too, actually. Swiss Chris, also in 2014, Suarez made a great save at the World Cup. That was 2010 against Ghana. If that's the one you're talking about, at least. Lex Takis, or was it in 2007 08? Well, I don't remember. What do you mean? C. Ronaldo 2006 07 season is also up there, at least if we talk about forwards, and he was still a winger back then. I think you mean 07 08? Was that the Ballon d'Or year? But the reason why I say Suarez was so good is because he did everything. Like if you watch those games, ball rolls on a little bit too much, and I think does Bellingham is down. I think that the Norwegian defender got the ball first, but it seems that we might have to go back and confer. Let's see what happened over here. Norwegian defender gets the ball out, but then it looks like he kicks out a tiny bit with his right foot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was intentional, but it was a bit awkward of a movement. And obviously very painful. Jude kind of had it rough this second half. I agree. He's been trying though. Let's all be completely real. He's been trying very hard. Probably England's player of the game, in my opinion. I don't think that that's too controversial. Rob says, should we be scared of YouTube algorithm? Why? Richard says Vardy is one of the best I've ever seen at a first touch on the run and finishing. So economical with his touches. Can't argue with that one. Can't argue with that one. And we're in extra time. The game goes on. I think that we see penalties. And I think that if England aren't able to come up with some goods in these penalties, then it's, gosh. You know what's funny, actually? England have always been, they've been known in most of these big competitions to be chokers at penalties. And this is not a new thing. Like, I remember, I wasn't even alive, but I remember, like, anytime you look at which World Cup was it? Was it 1990? Was it 1990 where Gareth Southgate missed his pen? And they've just always been haunted by penalty shootouts. And then they win a penalty shootout against Colombia in 2018. And it seemed as though, a lot of the demons had been exorcised. We'll do another pack just now. Only to then have the 2020 Euros. Yeah, we'll do a pack opening now. Based on this game so far, based on the 90 minutes, I think this is fair. This is a fair result that we've had so far. I do think that Norway looked like the more dangerous team, but looking like the more dangerous team, it doesn't win anything. Let's see how the second half goes. I think that England do have a lot more firepower to send on. So 5 subs have been made each team. England get 1 more sub to make in extra time. Now, I'm not sure about Norway because I know each team gets 5 subs to make. Norway have made 4. And then you get an extra sub to make in extra time. But does Norway still have their 5th? Does Norway still have 2 subs to make or 1? I'm not sure. I don't think that was a foul on Jude, by the way. Just towards the end of the game. Let's do a pack opening real quick. Southgate was 96? Okay, yeah. First pack. We'll do 2 right now before the game starts. Czechia, Patrick Schick. Turkey. Afrique du Sud. Panama. Okay, Norway still have 2 subs to make? No. Norway's only made 4 subs. Brazil. My question was whether they still get to make a 5th sub plus the extra one that they get in extra time. Morocco. Scotland. Again, no Norwegian players, no English players. I think it's no wonder that we've gone to extra time. We'll do 1 more, and then we'll do another one at halftime of extra time. Jordan Henderson, the great mascot on the field. Henderson injured himself. Look at his arm. This man he came to the World Cup as a glorified mascot, and he has injured himself celebrating in the previous round against Mexico. This is insane stuff. You cannot write it. Riyad Mahrez, Algeria. New Zealand. We haven't gotten any English or Norwegian players. This is going crazy. Mexico. Uruguay, Manuel Ugarte, my boy. Fabian Ruiz. Scotland. Japan. Guys, I can't explain this. I can't explain this. I can't explain how we haven't packed any other. How many packs have we opened now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've opened 6 packs. We've opened 6 packs and have not packed 1 Norwegian or English player. This has never happened before. We usually get one player that's in the game, that's in one player that's within either of the two teams we're watching, like within the first two packs, usually. This has never happened before. I think this is showing that we're clearly about to go to penalties. Eminem, Bellingham looked furious. He will go back fired up. Yeah, Bellingham, he looks really, he's demanding a lot from the team, but he's not getting a lot back. It's going to be really disappointing for any player, for any of these teams. But I think Bellingham's definitely been England's man of the match so far. No one else of note. I think Anderson's been okay. Reece James hasn't been great since he came on. None of the subs. I mean, Bukayo Saka started off quite well. Oh, we're about to start the second half, by the way. For whatever reason, the ref is over here talking, and we have started. Okay. We're in the second half. We're in the first half of extra time. The third half is what I meant. The third half is what I meant. We'll do one more pack. Oh, wait. Never mind. Full start. We have to ring this one back a tiny bit. Let's do that. Okay, we're good. Third half is what I meant. How do you rate Eze in this game? Not so highly. Same as Saka, he came out the blocks very energetic, but ultimately nothing came of it. Yeah, I think based on what we've seen so far in this game, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about England's capabilities. Again, Reece James this is the third time that he's gotten the ball, that he's tried to whip it in. Sort of out curling cross, and it's been really poor. He's been very poor since he came on. Saka. Ooh, Saka with a nutmeg attempt. Doesn't get it past his man. I think that's a corner. Yeah, it is. Okay, Saka, show us what you can do over here, because none of England's corners have been at all impressive so far in this game. So we need a little bit of life here. Rob says, is Bayern's Yabba Dabba Doo song the most annoying goal celebration song? Depends on who you support. If you support Bayern, I'm not sure. Bongo Baggins, great name. Corner by Saka. That's a good delivery. That's into a good area. That is the first decent delivery England have done in this entire game from a corner. Gets the ball back, whips it in again. Harry Kane. Ooh. Gets saved by Nyland. Saka again on the ball. Yeah, they're definitely trying to get to him more often, more than anything else. Hassan, you're saying at this point we just have to count players' shots. Oh, it's a goal! Bellingham makes a 2-1 for England. But of course, no one else but him. No one else but him. Let's be honest here. Oh, that's so poor. This is the second game. This is the second day in a row. Potentially, a game is decided thanks to a spill by the goalkeeper, and then the follow through. Oh, he is just England's savior in this tournament, isn't he? Anybody who's been bad-mouthing this man, eat your words. Eat your words. Haaland has been he's been absolutely ghosting the entire game. Let's see this. Shot by Rogers. Good height. Oh, that's poor. Oh, that's unfortunate by Nyland. But listen, his team needs to react a little bit better. Look at how quickly Bellingham reacts to this here. That's so poor by Nyland. He needs to be doing a lot better there. Oh gosh. Oh, great for England. God. For the time being, England are through to the next round. Of course it's Jude. Of course it is Jude. Oh, the timer is for some reason at like 32. I'm sorry about that. It shouldn't be that. It should be 94. That's better. That's my bad. Yeah, I also can't scream too loudly because I've got people sleeping. I've got a girl sleeping in the next room, so that's why I'm not celebrating as loudly as I probably could. Build the man a statue. Yeah. Bellingham is. Talk about PR. I mean, he's had an absolutely abysmal season. Not abysmal, but by his standards, abysmal at Real Madrid. So, Nusa, the game's not over yet. Norway's still alive. Daniel, he's always fucking there. He's always fucking there, isn't he? Knight the man? Yeah. Also, Jed Spence has not been bad since he's come on either. I mean, listen, he's not the best, but he's not bad. Except for when he misplaces a pass right as I'm praising him. Ray says, I'm at my parents' house in London watching the game. They live 5 minutes from Jude Bellingham Station in southeast London. Nice. Maybe you run into him one day when he's on vacation from Real Madrid. From Madrid, let's see. Richards, now please don't retreat into siege mode. If England can't hold on to a victory here, then they really don't deserve to go any further. And you do get the feeling that if they were to concede an equalizer, they're not going to have the morale to carry them through into penalties. But for the moment being, its coming home status is ongoing, in the works. And I think both of these teams are good enough to beat either Argentina or Switzerland. Bellingham doing his signature move, a tap in. But he actually is a good striker. He would play striker. He should play striker often. No, he shouldn't. He's at his best doing exactly what he's just done, reacting, arriving late. I don't think he'd be a good box player at all. England don't have good box players, actually. Kane is a good box player, obviously, but it's not as good. It's not his best asset. And look at where he is. I mean, England have done really well so far, but it just takes one weak link. It takes one weak link to break it all up, but they're doing good. Thank God for Bellingham. You can't deny Jude has an eye for goals. No one can deny that. I don't think anyone that's watching England score win by 2-1 against Norway with 2 Bellingham goals thinks that he doesn't. I'm calling it France versus England final. That'll be a good final. Cue Big Dan. If Norway score again, they will rule it out based on a foul they didn't call 5 minutes ago. Rigged World Cup. Also, I'm going to turn off this momentum bar because it is wrong. Let's go to the subs. I feel sick, says Bongo Baggins. Ooh. Oh, I think that's a foul. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. That's a penalty won by Jed Spence. He's been, wow. Oh my God. Oh, England are making it through. England are going through to the next round. Kane is not missing this. I do not see it. That's a yeah. That definitely was a penalty, by the way, or at least that's what I thought at first glance. Norwegian heartbreak. Scorers of the first goal. This is exactly what England did in the last round, by the way. Let's take a look at this. You know what? If I'm honest with you, he puts his foot down in front. He puts his foot down in front of Bob. He doesn't attempt to play the ball over there. That is questionable. Just the movement he does, he moves it into Oscar Bob's path instead of actually playing the ball there. I think they're going to give it. I think it's questionable. Let's see. I don't think 100%, but let's see. No pen? Oh no, he's checking VAR. Yeah, I think there's a high chance that he doesn't give this pen. It's not a dive because there is contact, but Spence initiates the contact. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, he doesn't. I think that Oscar Bob is actually going to play the ball first if Spence doesn't initiate the contacts like that. But let's see. I can definitely see it being given. I can see it not being given. After review. No foul. I thought so. Norway can celebrate, but they're still in the mud a little bit. England need to do their best to not get demoralized by that no call right now. Oh, let's do a new poll. Was that a foul on Jed Spence? This game reminds me so much of the Congo game. By the way, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't. The like helps a lot, especially to get these streams out. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm happy you're here. Let's see what Norway can do in these final moments. They're under it a little bit. England need to keep very compact. I feel like their only way through would be to try and get it through to Haaland, but Haaland has been non-existent this whole game. I think he's had like 2 touches of the ball. Gosh darn. No foul. Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, listen. As soon as I saw that first replay, I was like, for the same reason that that it was disallowed. Nusa. Ooh. Appealing for a handball. I don't think it'll be given. It looked like it was traveling too quickly. Richard says it's an obvious pen. I don't think so. That's also not a handball by Gay. Ball, his hand is, first of all, it doesn't hit his hand, but even if it did, it's in a natural position. Haaland seems lethargic. No, he's just been marked out the game by Mark Gay. Gay's been brilliant on Haaland all game. Another corner. Norway's been very dangerous at those. Looping. Haaland needs to show up. Blockbuster game. Jude Bellingham is just ice cold. Still a lot left to play. By the way, I don't know if any of you have forgotten, but we have one more pack to open at halftime. So anything could happen. Norway have to be protagonists here. Ødegaard. Straight into Jordan Pickford's hands. Look at how many English players are in the box right now. Pack it in, boys. Pack it in. Crazy. Gay's had an excellent game for sure. Akasi says, do you think England deserves this win? Yeah. Yeah, of course. No team has been like outright way better than the other team. They've both had great periods. England took their chances a lot better. I would definitely say that England deserved to win this game. The same way that if Norway come back into it, will probably be deserved too. Look at the pressure they're applying right now. It's been a really good game. It's been a really competitive game. I liked it. I've enjoyed it. And it seems most of you guys also agree. We have almost 100 people that have voted no for that no foul rather. 3 minutes of extra time in extra time. 3 minutes of added time in extra time rather. You never really see that, do we? I guess because of the goal, you have to. No reason to take any risks over here. I mean, look at how hesitant England are to bring players forward. Ball goes into the box. Eze just needs to play keep ball here. Bongo Baggins, lads, we're 1 goal away from the World Cup final. If England make it into the World Cup final, I feel like they're gonna win it. I don't know why I said that. Like that's a silly. It's like a silly premonition type thing to say, but I don't know. Whoever they come up against, Bukayo Saka, shot over the bar, sails over the bar by Bellingham. Emmanuel says, brother, you have Argentina after this. England are better than Argentina. If they're able to nullify Messi, which no one has been able to do, England as a team are better than Argentina. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. Akasi says, say what you want. Norway go further than we thought. Yeah. Listen, this is what I said from the very beginning. Norway have been, someone else put it very well earlier on in the chat. Norway have been playing on borrowed time for 2 rounds now. But it's a disappointing way to go out. A late goal scored by, a goalkeeping fumble that you wouldn't expect Nyland to make. Nyland's been really good in this tournament. He's been, I think he was man of the match. Not man of the match against. He was really good against Brazil. He was great against Ivory Coast. I think he was man of the match against Ivory Coast, in my opinion, or had a very good claim for it. You'd expect him to do better with that kind of a shot by Rogers. It's unfortunate. Aditya says, anyone know where Saka is from ancestrally? I think he's Nigerian. I think his family is Nigerian. I could be wrong. I'm not underestimating Argentina's shithousery. I just think that England are a better team right now than Argentina. First pack, Cabo Verde. Bosnia. We have not gotten a single England or Norwegian player at all in these pack openings, guys. This is insane. Cabo Verde. Belgium. Thibaut Courtois. Germany. Germany 2014. That's interesting. South Korea. We haven't gotten one English or Norwegian card at all. I kind of want to open another one. Just so we can get one. This is what you call chasing the dragon. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do one more. This is the last one of the game, by the way. If we don't get even one, we've opened now 7 packs. Scotland, FA. We've opened 7 packs now. We haven't gotten one player from this team. Paraguay. Argentina, Nico Pats. I don't think he's even played at all in this tournament so far. Croatia, Luka Modric. Again, Algeria. Cabo Verde. Uruguay. I don't know what's going on, guys. We have not gotten one Norwegian or English player after 8 packs. Never happened before. I guess it's a good thing because it means that no one should be gambling. This game is still up in the air. Anything can happen. That's quite crazy. None at all. Let me throw these away. Ooh, this is going to be a very, very, very interesting 15 minutes. Watch out, boys. Watch out. Any substitutions made? None made right now. Or none that I can see. Perhaps it'll update just now in a little bit. Oh, we're underway. Oh, Haaland's come off. Haaland's come off for Strand Larsen. Interesting. Very interesting. Conor Lesto says, rip to Cabo Verde. What do you mean? They've done so well. They did extremely well. They're absolute heroes, those guys. Virginia never has to work a day again in his life. Bro has 20 minutes. Oh, Nusa with a ball across the face of the goal. Is that a foul on Bellingham? I think it was. Bellingham has single-handedly dragged this English side into what looks like a World Cup semi-final. I mean, there's a foul that's just been given on Bellingham, but there's actually a case for high boot over there by him. What a heartbreaking way to go out if this is actually how it ends for them. Feet sniffer, crazy name. Insane name, my friend. I can see why you've got the letter as your profile picture because that's crazy. You're saying, yeah, it is Nigeria, Bukayo Saka from Nigeria. Emmanuel, you willed it into existence. Bukayo, according to Robs, in Yoruba means adds to happiness. I think every Arsenal supporter can definitely agree to this meaning. True to his name, all that. Connell saying, Tinashe showing us what to do, what not to do when gambling, kids. Oh yeah, listen, when it comes to just packs, you know what? I'm not gonna speak any more of this because I'm gonna incriminate myself and my previous tendencies when playing Ultimate Team. Push on the back of Anderson. Ref says play on though. Interesting. Law Giver Gaming, you've chased the dragon out the postcode. Don't judge me. How dare you judge me? You don't even know me, all right? I don't have a problem. I'm actually quite good at gambling. It's not a problem. Don't gamble, kids. Unless you're in Norway right now, you got to gamble a little bit. Got to gamble a tiny bit. Throw some men forward. Get in the box. Fancy Holland. Yeah. Holland needs to, not Holland, Strand Larson needs to definitely start playing a little bit more off John Stones. Shot. Ooh, Berg over the bar. It opened up a tiny bit for him, but you know what? We keep going on. I tell you what, that's a great save by the fans behind the goal. Palmed it away very well before it hit someone's face. That's really top stuff. That's really top stuff. Way better than Nyland's done so far for the big moments. Nusa still somehow ends up with the ball, but it's now off to Harry Kane. 3v3, 3v4 now. Oh, well played by Saka. Oh, just close. He did the hard work. And Jed Spence has been great. Jed Spence with a shot. Oof. Again, Nyland parries it straight into a dangerous area. Twice he's done it in a row. I go straight to him. Akasi says, I've seen you on a South African sports broadcast. No, you haven't. Which one? I haven't been on any South African sports broadcast. Or is that true? Interesting. Holland off? Yes, Holland very much off. Arham, you're saying you get the feeling that Holland has accepted this is as far as they'll go. I mean, they've just taken off their best attacker because he's just been not been on it and he's been marked out of the game. So it's a fair assumption. Connell Astor says, release the football iconic foot files. That's an insane sentence. That's an insane sentence. By the way, you're never getting them for free. The feed pics are, I've said too much. Football is just 22 people running around a ball for 90 minutes, and in the end, the French win. You're right. Bellingham is a French name, isn't it? It's got that je ne sais quoi. Emmanuel, I haven't. Which one? Videos on the regress of Brazil and Germany. Yeah, maybe. Strand Larson running off the back. Oh, they've done so well there. But voila, Bellingham is a goat. This is great defense by England. I think they're gonna win it. A very, very long 8 minutes left. Like Norway just, not that they've been trying to find him, not that they were trying to find him all too much in the game, but they just, I feel like they've just not been utilizing their focal points too much. Yes, Holland's been marked out. Yes, it's been tough, but yeah, it hasn't been the best time for them. Gosh, okay. Well, by the looks of things right now, we're getting England versus Argentina or Switzerland, and I think it's entirely possible that Argentina gets some goodwill, some good luck, or not, or England gets it, or Switzerland gets it. But we can't knock out any result, even this one. To be fair, let's be real. Nusa, corner, gotta be a corner. Norway have looked at their most dangerous at corners, as we've been saying many times. Can England contain Messi the same way, huh? Who knows? Good corner. Bob, oh, Bob. Always leaning back. Always leaning back. Norway do have this weird tendency for all these corners to get on the second ball. That actually does hit Eze on the way out. Technically should be a Norway corner over here, but isn't. Jude Clonchan Jambon. Clonchan Jambon. Bellingham. For the non-French speakers. That's actually his birth name. I believe he changed it at like 2 or 3 years old. Into the box. That's out for a goal kick. Or is it? Yeah, it should be. I just don't see a way back for Norway right now. There are no avenues that are working. Every cross into the box gets headed out first time. Every attack down the wing gets closed down very quickly. Would be incredible. Like that miss by or that missed opportunity by Sørloth earlier in the game. It's now starting to look a lot worse, isn't it? And that would have made it 2-0, right? Islam says nobody anymore mentions Italy even in insults. What? Oh, you mean we're talking about the decline of Italy? I actually have already done the decline of Italy video recently. You can watch that one. I think I did it like after they were confirmed to not be playing in the World Cup. Martin Odegaard standing over a free kick. Both hands up. Curler, Jordan Pickford comes out. Good palm. And he's down on the floor. Of course he is. Was there a foul in there, though? That's got to be a yellow card there. Can't yell at the referee like that. Alan says Saka should have buried the game, just pass it to Kane and play in the area and pray in that area. Yeah. But what we do have to all admit is that there have been moments for both teams where one decision would have changed the trajectory of it. But this is football. And with this loss, we're gonna have a lot of angry neutrals. A lot of very angry neutrals. Oh, come on. Jordan Pickford collides with his own player. Like, that is ridiculous, I think. Anyway. Yeah, like Norway has been a lot of people's adopted team in this World Cup. So this is going to be heartbreaking for a lot of people, especially because there are also many who just downright don't want England to win anything. To those people, Harry Kane says, of that, in his, like, you know, he always sounds like he's like gargling some marbles. Yeah, I think the boys have just done so well. Yeah, you know, I love it. Joe Bellingham, wild player. That is the worst Harry Kane accent you'll ever hear. Andrew says North London Irish hybrid accents. No. This is just the accent of an absolute madman. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. I don't know why I'm even like, I don't know why anyone is in like suspense right now. Norway haven't come anywhere close to equalizing. So they haven't come anywhere close since that miss by Sørloth earlier on in the first half. They haven't come close kind of at all to scoring. So it's one of those things. And the three Lions go marching on, semi-final again. Lex says, why is that a free kick for England? Pickford crashes into his own teammate. Yeah, that's kind of what was being argued over there by Aya. Two minutes of added time. Have any cards even been given out yet? Yeah, I think, did Aya just get the first yellow card? That was the first yellow card of the game, wasn't it? I mean, it hasn't been an overtly dirty game at all, so that's not that surprising. Clinton says, I'm going to sleep. Norway, I had better hopes in y'all, but no desire shown. Yeah, they haven't had much of a fight. They haven't had much of a fight whatsoever since that. Again, since that Sørloth chance. Rob says, let's rank Kevin Keegan, Rooney, and Kane. That's interesting. I mean, no one here has watched Kevin Keegan, or at least very few people here have watched Kevin Keegan. Rooney and Kane is an interesting debate, isn't it? I think if you had asked me that question like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would have said that it's sacrilege to even assume that Kane was higher than Rooney. But just their overall games, different profile of player, but it's interesting conversation to have, I guess. I haven't thought about it too much. Yeah, you got to gamble right now, Norway. This is one of those. I mean, I think they're out of time, but these are like those moments where you have to either gamble conceding another goal to potentially equalize. Game's over. England are through to the semi-finals. Jude Bellingham, what a player. Unbelievable game by Jude Bellingham. Great escape by the English. Not really a great escape because they were the better team overall, I think. But great disappointments, rather, by Norway. I think they battled really hard. They've gone very far in this competition so far. They have really made themselves, their country, everything that they stand for, really proud. And it's a heartbreaking way to crash out of a competition. A goal scored in extra time, especially so early, like 3 minutes into extra time. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And I suspect that this team is going to be doing quite well for many years to come because they can and they have the capability of doing so. Erling Haaland over there, disappointed. Jude Bellingham now on the field on the camera view. Yeah, as you know, as a neutral, I really enjoyed this game. Very competitive between two teams that were quite evenly matched, and onwards and upwards. I do think that England are going to beat whoever they face in the next round, Argentina or Switzerland. I think they're better than both teams. Anything could happen though, so we'll see. I'm not going to be streaming for the Argentina Switzerland match because it is currently almost 2 a.m. for me, and I need to make some notes so I can make a video on this game. And yeah, thanks so much for joining, everyone. Leave a like if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. This has been a really good stream. It's been a stream that we haven't done streams in a while, but I'm glad that we're back. And of course, we will be back for the semifinals and for the final onwards. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.